books. Can't escape from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Steam playing.
And from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas, this is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show for Saturday, December 14th. We survived Friday the 13th, got through it. We're here for a big sports betting day. Most of it's going to be chasing down this college basketball steam that's just starting to roll in here right now, and we'll discuss the big game of the day, of course, Army-Navy, NBA Cup as well. We picked the best college basketball games to mention today, but again, I think the coverage will be just checking down that steam all morning long. Get ready with your pens, pencils, and rotation orders. Get ready to chase that steam today here on the show. We've got also a good international soccer card here today. Just want to let everyone know that Subhuman Gaucho Sub has his previews up right now for this morning's EPL card. The card gets underway here within the hour. I don't mind if you guys want to check it out and get the picks from Sub. He might even be in here. I haven't looked yet at the chat, or maybe he'll stop by to let us know what's going on. But I'd really like you to watch those videos if you haven't done so already here on the Sports Money Network, as Sub has previewed all 5 games here coming up this morning from the EPL. 4 go off at the top of the hour, and then the featured game, Villa and Forest, at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, but 4 games here at the top of the hour, and Sub's got those previews. So if you want to get in on the action here, it's underway, certainly in the other leagues as well. I'm watching Atalanta and Cagliari here, Osasuna and Espanyol. There's no goals yet in those matches, and we're just underway with the soccer card today. So we'll be talking also NBA Cup. Did I mention that? With the 2 games today, Hawks and Bucks, Rockets and Thunder. Thanks for everyone joining me here in the chat. Chat All-Stars. Hello, Stars. Let's see who's here to get us rolling today. Truth Tellers ready to roll, and Cash Kane as well. Speaking of Padres, not my Padres, but the Carmel Padres beat one of my teams in the state championships. Oh, man, that was rough last night. Steam plays rolling in right now. Say hello to a few more folks, but this is going to be kind of the coverage here. Now, this one actually is a game that I have selected for our coverage here today with UCLA and Arizona. That's our first steam here right now with UCLA and Arizona tonight. We're seeing steam here to the under right now at 147. I say tonight, this one's actually at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. We're seeing some steam here right now. UCLA and Arizona down to 146. You might have heard one also just when we were coming on the air. That was another high-profile matchup today with Georgetown and Syracuse. Game total going over here right now at 151.5, maybe a little higher here right now with Georgetown and Syracuse. I'm seeing here steam to the over today. These teams, when they meet, they usually go under, but here comes the steam to the over at up to 152 right now. How about that? Say hello to a few more folks and then get ready for the action here for sure. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up today. Kane's watching Wolfsburg here. Nicholas Handy's here today as well. Thomas Lewis says, good morning, everyone. Like and comment, share, and thumbs up here on the Sports Money Network, the fastest growing channel on YouTube. Well, as far as handicapping is concerned, Curtis is here today. Good morning. Jared's here with a little action with Aqueduct today with some horse racing action. Appreciate it. Joe W. here today. And let's see who else. Zoe Faye here. Very nice to have Zoe here talking soccer with us in the morning. Jared's got some other plays here in the bowl game. He likes South Alabama and over 52.5 today. I don't even know if I mentioned that game yet as part of the show with the bowl at Montgomery, Alabama. So appreciate it. And also, our Tom's here today, Nunya as well. Thank you, you guys. Philly Eagle Flyer, how'd you guys do last night? Let's see who else is here, and I'll get the commercial. I feel like we got to get started really here, but thank you, Zoe Faye. That's awesome. Okay, we'll roll the commercial here, I think, real quick and then get going. But we can talk a little bit about the big action last night, certainly with, I don't know what it was the feature last night with the standalone hockey game, the football game. We did have the premium pick on the over there. Oh, I'm sorry, the VIP pick on the over in the Idaho-Montana State game. Now, I whipped on Idaho, but I said that Montana State, they looked good, didn't they? Montana State in that game last night. NBA action, we did roll a few winners here, but I could only manage a couple of winners. The consensus parlay went down as well as I did with Philadelphia yesterday. So consensus parlay, we're at 0-33 now. I've never hit that. It's becoming kind of a running, I don't know, I guess it's just a joke around here, I guess. But I was trying to find winners in the NBA last night. I did come through with Minnesota here on the show yesterday. They did pretty much hammer the Lakers. Also, premium pick winner, Brooklyn and Memphis game over. Also, we did give out Memphis here on the show. Consensus winner yesterday, Chicago Bulls over Charlotte. A pretty convincing victory there. And I had Phoenix over Utah getting the money here on the morning team. I'll tell you who did have the winner. Mikey had the winner with the over Phoenix and Utah over yesterday. He scored on pre-gaming, and I had a winner late last night, San Antonio and Portland game to go over, although the consensus, we did go down with San Antonio. I had a premium pick on the over there. College basketball, could only find one winner there with Omaha and Northern Iowa. Game total to go under, premium pick winner. You guys had the winner, consensus winner, La Tech over Georgia Southern. I gave out Nebraska here on the show yesterday to pound against Indiana. And also Mikey had a winner, Colorado over South Dakota State. He shot me down yesterday, actually, in that one with that winner. And I did give out a winner in the chat there yesterday with Boston U and Merrimack game to go under. So a little bit of action there on Friday night. I watched a high school football game. Wasn't a great night as far as excitement is concerned, but don't worry, we got that taken care of today. Don't forget, we do have our companion coverage here on the Sports Money Network for UFC Tampa. It's the last card of the year as we head into the holidays, and the guys will be here tonight to go over the fight card here, including that main event with Colby Covington here, a big dog tonight against Joaquin Buckley. So if you're a Colby fan, here's your chance to try to score with the former interim champ and just never kind of got over the hump, but he's got a big fight here, top 10 contenders in the welterweight division tonight in Tampa, the season ender here. We did also have, don't forget, check out the guys with the previews of the UFC card tonight with First Strike. It's not the name of a horse, it's the name of a show here on the Sports Money Network. We have the previews with the guys, their 4 top picks with Jeff, with Sub, with Mike, with Jim, giving their top 4 plays here for the card. And then you can check out me with VB on VB MMA Picks with Ramon Scott. That's the name of the channel. And we previewed 3 fights on the card for tonight. So that should get you loaded up pretty good for the action here tonight. Join me and VB. Clint McLean joined us this week. So you got basically, I think you get 7 picks at least out of that, if not a little bit more. And I will have a fight card out today as well with all of this action. My fight card over at winnable.com. So if you want to get my card for the fights, which may have some of these plays, I got to be honest with you, from my guys, check me out over at winnable.com and use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off all premium pick packages. This is how you support me on the channel by clicking the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, and that takes you to my Winnable page there. This is how I send out my best plays. If you want my best plays, including, I've got right now, I want to say it's 12 basketball games before 3 p.m. Eastern going off with my high-volume plays here today. I'm firing on college basketball. Just a couple of bucks over at winnable.com, or get signed up for 1 month, $20, and use the promo code STEAM. It's 50 cents a day to support me here on the channel and get a few plays in your pocket, set the notifications. You can also sign up for a free account over there where I think I did score yesterday with a couple of good plays yesterday with some of the free action. Oh yeah, was the FCS game over? So please check me out over at winnable.com. All right, and your chance to win also comes on the morning steam. If you type any comment in the chat, I guess you'll get a chance to be the first one in that 0 for 33 streak. I'm so bummed. All right, let's say hello to a few more folks and get started with the show. Steam rolling in here right now too. Let's do it. Let's see if I can chase this down with all these games here on this college basketball card. But this is how we want to do it. Sacramento State is taking a little bit of steam here right now in their game against UC Davis. Sacramento State's had a pretty good run against UC Davis in the past, and they're taking steam here right now against Davis. Also, Prairie View A&M. Let's go to the extra board and look at A&M here against Loyola Marymount. They were getting 20 points, but they might be down to 19 or so here right now. Prairie View A&M taking the steam against LMU. All right. And I thought there was one more. Davidson here taking some steam in their game against Detroit. Big number here. Davidson looks like they're up to 16 or so against Detroit today. All right. Let me see who else is here. And we'll catch up on that steam in a moment. I got to keep rolling here and try to say hello to some folks and start this show. Who do we got? I want to say hello to Joey Harb here today, as well as let's see here. Joe saw that pick. I wanted to play it, and I was like, "Where am I?" I really like this. It was kind of some late move action there. And Nunya, he says he loves that Montana State team. It feels like. Is that what he's saying here? I picked every single FCS game money line so far. So yeah, you know what? I think we have it. I whiffed on the total there last night, but all right. Let's see here. Nunya talking UFC. Who else we got? Irish King. Let's roll. And I think that's gonna. Gravy's here. Great to have Gravy in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. All right, I'm going to start it off. Let's just start this show. We can get this steam going later. All right, you know what's starting this show off. I don't care what we're doing here. We got Army and we got Navy, and we know the storylines here, of course, with this incredible Army season and how well they've fared against Navy. Also, don't forget they've kind of rolled it here. We've been talking about the total here all week, right? And I think it's not even 40, right? Isn't it down? Is it gone up to 40? No. Yeah, 40, 39 and a half doesn't make much sense if you ask me. Now, you can be that guy or gal or handicapper that says, look at me, I'm taking the over. And you know what? Maybe it will go over. Maybe Army will roll these guys, but something what gets in the way with these guys a little bit, ego, and doesn't take money to get these guys to forget about the focus of the game. Now, I know that kind of goes against what you might think with Army Navy, like drill sergeants out there running and executing those offenses, wing tees and whatnot, it seems like from the old days. But yeah, Army's got a little bit of a versatile passing game too, and they're not the same Army necessarily. And maybe this spread kind of factors in the rivalry a little bit here, because you might think that Army should maybe be a bigger favorite in this one. But you know what? Something funny happens every time you step on the field in this game. My bucket list, look, I don't do much anymore. I just sit here in the satellite studios and try to handicap some games. But my bucket list is kind of short. And this one I've never made it to. I hope to one day. It's just something that for me is the pinnacle of sport, of watching TV production, whatever. I think it's just an awesome thing to watch, and something funny happens there when you get those guys. Man, Navy's going to hang in this game for sure. I would think. Now, I've been talking about the total all week, and of course, I'm on the under. It might be too easy, right, to say go under, but remember when we were fighting these trends before? This number was certainly lower. And it all reflects on how awesome Army is with their Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback. He's, look at who, they're awarding these awards to late in the season. It's been a great season here for Army and for Navy too. It's been a really good season, a really great season, really, for Navy too. Don't forget. I mean, as good as Army is, Navy's done a nice job. Remember, for most of the year, we were saying, oh, well, maybe I was just reaching for storylines, but I said, oh, Navy, they're going to be able to, go into the game undefeated as well into this game, right? They'll both upset Notre Dame. Well, we know that wasn't going to happen now, but still should be awesome here. And look, I already gave out the under all week, saying that I'm not deviating from the norm when it comes to this series as much as, and again, it's kind of gone up here a little bit, it feels like, because of maybe what they're expecting from Army. But for me, I got to stick with the over. Yeah, I joked about it, right? We don't let anybody know our defense never rests in the United States of America. And so you don't want to give up 35 points with all these other countries watching right now with everything so hostile out there. So better be some defense here. Maybe there'll be a drone show at halftime, if you know what I mean, here. It is in Landover, Maryland. It's not in New Jersey or Philly, but maybe Mikey, maybe when the game comes back to Philly, I think it's supposed to come out west. All right, let's see what you got in the chat. I didn't even talk about the intricacies of this one, but I don't know, kind of for me, throw everything out the window a little bit. All right, here, let's see. We've got a little bit of soccer action still. We got hangovers here. Here we go. Army and over for Elliot. Army and over here. Hopefully you guys were typing in before I started. Well, you guys are on the over clearly here. And yeah, he's good to go. Some question whether or not going to make the lineup here for Horvath, but he wasn't going to not miss this way. And you meant the Navy quarterback, I think. The Army quarterback is certainly good to go. So, all right, let's keep it moving here in the chat. And it's a good FCS action. Look, maybe I can touch on a few FCS games right in this block here, because I didn't make graphics for the FCS games, but I've already kind of went with them. So let me see if I can add these a little bit here and keep the show moving. There's been some more college basketball steam. Joe T, hello. Here's under for our Tomps in the game. Somebody's got to roll with me a little bit. Look at this one too. It's cold. It's cold all through the Northeast up there, huh? Man, I heard it's cold. I'm complaining here. 41 degrees, 37 degrees last night, whatever. I feel bad for you guys. Here's an Army. And I'll say this, I don't know if anybody here in this chat, here's Cash Kane, a lot of Army support here. And look at this. I love how Thomas put this, the United States Army, or whatever we want to call it. But Army is a consensus play here. You know what? I'll just leave it at that. I'll let the chat look. I'm already on the under, and I'll let the consensus play stand here with Army. Just make no mistake, this family here is Navy. So maybe if there was one game I'm going to homer it up with, maybe it's this one. So I'll be convinced here and just let the consensus play be there on Army. I think I agree with the result anyway from you guys. Maybe I'm laying off with it just listening to you guys, but man, I've seen this one way too many. Now, like I said, Army's been rolling these guys for years right now in a way, but Navy's gotten the money in some of them too. So it just feels to me like it still can be a tight game, a low scoring game, ugly, they just stick to the game plan. It almost like for whatever reason, it just gets wild and the craziest things happen with blocked field goal. You guys have seen this before. Now, there's no doubt Army here, super, super awesome here, right? Let's figure how close they got. Army first half under. There's Army to smash from Nate. Robert likes the under with me. There's going to be some under support there, even though we got off to all those overs here. Again, when you think of how, and again, I think you look at this year. I mean, it's not always been just unders with service academies, but you know what? Don't forget when service academies play each other also. It's not just these guys, but all right, Jared's got some other plays. Go Army, beat Navy, says Nunya. Appreciate it, Nunya. Even though what I said, my dad was Navy, so I'm Navy, I guess. I was never in the military, but you got to stick with the fam there, right? All right, I see Jared making some basketball plays, I think, in there. Elliot's got some stats here to go through, if I can leave it up there for a moment, but we got to keep it moving. I'll go over some of these FCS games here. I'll just verbally call out some plays here that I like there. But thank you, Elliot. Hopefully you guys saw that. Here's Joey. What's he saying here? Is he going on some weird alternate line plus what's that? What would that be? Plus 600 or something? 425? I don't know what that would be here. Jared likes Arsenal in those games. Like I said, if you guys want to go check out Sub's videos, I'll be here. Don't worry about us. I barely can get through this game. Jared's going over in the Arsenal game. All right. Appreciate it. And Army here for Truth Teller. I think I've caught up to you there. Truth Teller also talking about Montana State. And like I said, I love this Montana State team, man. Even though both of my guys, two guys that I've followed and covered, both injured right now. Really disappointed for them, including one that had his first touchdown last week, but he's missed the game last night for Montana State. Okay, let me get that. So I guess I'm on the under, and consensus is going to be on Army. I don't think I'm giving out Navy. I think I'm just going to bet Navy, and I can do that. So if you want to bet with me, maybe, but it's not like a play on the show. I respect everyone going with Army here. I don't mind it, but I'm leaning Navy. So I get to pass once. It's kind of a pass, but it's in pocket. Okay, we got to take some different positions here on the show now and then. Okay, DePaul took some steam here in their game. This interesting game here, right, with DePaul today, because where do you see DePaul ever? You figure this game against Wichita State any previous years would have been all shockers, right? But DePaul here, interesting that they are taking the steam here. They were already a favorite in this one by 3.5, and now they're going higher. DePaul took some steam. Also, Western Kentucky in their game against Murray State. They were a 4.5, 4 or 4.5, but they're up to 5 or 5.5. Western Kentucky taking some college basketball steam. Also, we heard a couple of others. How about Fresno State? They took some steam here against USD. They've covered the spread, I think, in 4 of the last 5 meetings against USD. So we're not going to get to that one, I don't think. But I'm going to take them right now. I like Fresno State in that one against USD. Get on it right now, I would think. This one looks like it's going to 6 here with Fresno State taking steam. I like Fresno State in that one. Toledo and Youngstown State going over here, 148 right now in their matchup with Toledo at 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific. Steam to the over here, Toledo and Youngstown State. Also, Missouri, Kansas City. Game number 690. They're favored against Bowling Green. They're favored by, was 2.5 here. Now it's 3.5 or so. Missouri, Kansas City taking steam here against Bowling Green. Cincinnati here right now. Game number 622 in their matchup with Xavier. I get it. Cincinnati's better. They've got the better record here, or the better situation here right now. But I don't know, man. Xavier always gives them a hard time because they'll fight them. If they don't like what's going on, they'll fight them. Xavier always gets some money in that series. I think we've got it set up to preview. If we don't, it's funny because those teams are going under for sure this year. Steam already came in on the over in Xavier and Cincinnati, and that series always goes over. But this year, man, both teams have been pretty solid to the under. So I think I'd trust that Steam on the over in that game with Xavier and Cincinnati. I think we're previewing it, but I'm going over in that game when we get to that point. All right, Nashville here just took some steam in hockey. Crazy, right? They took steam last game too and pulled off the upset, if I'm not mistaken. So here's Nashville taking some steam against Colorado, a team that they don't do very well against. You're never going to get me on Nashville, I wouldn't think, in that one. All right, let's see if I can track a little bit more down here. That might be it. We got to move on some of these other games here. Towson. Got a few more here. Towson against Duquesne. They're playing this one in Akron. Towson was a 1-point favorite. They're up to a 2-point favorite or so, maybe even 2.5 here with Towson today taking steam against Duquesne in Akron. All right, I think we can roll here right now. UCLA took steam against Arizona. I think I've got that one previewed, but Arizona was a 4-point favorite. It's going to be down to 3 here. UCLA's played well this year for sure. Whether or not it's a surprise or not, right now they've seemed like they've turned it up here a little bit. That game's being played at the Footprint Center in Phoenix. Steam also came in on that game on the under. Steam was UCLA and the under with UCLA and Arizona. Georgetown here taking steam right now as we speak in that game against Syracuse. I'm going to like Georgetown as well. Look, Georgetown has played well against Syracuse, and that was before, they've kind of been improved here under Coach Cooley. So I'm going to like that Georgetown move against Syracuse today, and I probably would recommend taking Georgetown against Syracuse. All right, I think that's it here. Let's see if we can't get back to the show a little bit. Then the steam, of course, came in. What did I say on the over in that game? So, okay, here we go. All right, FCS action here. Incarnate Word taking on South Dakota State. I like South Dakota State here, laying 19 points. I guess 19 to 20 now here at South Point. South Dakota State They're pretty good for sure, and they've been a little bit better, I think, on the spread than Incarnate Word this season. Both teams come in 11-2 right now, but man, South Dakota State maybe a little bit more experienced here, I would think, and Incarnate Word has failed to cover the spread in each of their last 3 games. Now, like we thought you guys are talking about there, sometimes these teams are hitting the money line and not getting the money when they're favored in some of these games big time right now. And maybe that's going to be the case here too, but I'm going to take the experience of South Dakota State there against Incarnate Word. Also, Mercer taking on North Dakota State. I think I'll lay big points again right now. I was just shook by last night seeing Montana State roll. I mean, hats off to Mercer getting here. They're 11-2 also, but I just want to stick with the North Dakota State here in this one. And North Dakota State did fail to cover 21 points last time out, and they won by 20 against Abilene Christian. And before that, of course, they lost in their regular season finale, I believe. To South Dakota, 20 in that wild one, 29-28. So I'm going to lay 21 points, though, with North Dakota State. And finally, Davis against South Dakota State. I'm going to take the points here with Davis. The steam came in on UC Davis. Maybe in this one that South Dakota is the more traditional power here. They're favored here, but this total got steamed too from 55.5 up to 58. I think that move is probably pretty serious, and I would think we're going to see a shootout here in this one, and I'll just take Davis to hang in there, and certainly what appears to be a game that I believe in that move from 55.5 to 58. You see this South Dakota team 42-31 against Tarleton. The 57-point game with North Dakota State, 42-36 against North Dakota. They scored 49 against Indiana State. So I'll take Davis in there, though, to hang in that one. But that one's going to be a wild one for sure. All right. Let's see some comments, and then we got the bowl game coming up here now as well with South Alabama and Western Michigan. But I'll take a look at the comments here. I know I'm all over the place, but this is what's going on. And I hope you enjoy it, actually, and get some of this, get some of these moves, right? Are you holding on to your apps and on your computers here? Wine Time, hello as well. And Truth teller, that was me. I'm on Montana State. I mean, they're favored. They were the favorites, but I'm just a big Montana State fan too. Right now, I am. All right. Clippers just gave up, didn't they, Zoe? In that game, they just totally quit in the third quarter. It was Dunsky. I had the Clippers, I think, here on the show yesterday. I mean, I was like, this is Dunsky, and I had the total over. There was no hope for the Clippers. They quit, no doubt. Yeah, Tom, no graphics. I don't have any graphics for these games, but I do have it for the South. Let's move to the bowl game here. I do have a graphic here for that one with South Alabama taking on Western Michigan here in the Camilla Bowl in Montgomery. So we do have one bowl game. We actually have two. I can maybe talk about the Jackson State, South Carolina State game if anybody's interested in that one as well. But for me here, as we get a little more steam rolling in here in just a moment. But for me here in this one, we've got South Alabama and Western Michigan coming into this one. Western Michigan, hey, they're coming in here off of a win against Eastern Michigan. They got the money with a 26-18 win. It snapped a 3-game losing streak for Western Michigan as they kind of stumbled there towards the finish after a pretty strong start, of course, to the season. For South Alabama here, they lost last time out to Texas State, 45-38, remember. Also, they finished with wins over Southern Miss. They won 35-14 as a 24-point favorite. They beat Louisiana 24-22 as a 6.5-point dog. So here, though, South Alabama is that 8.5 still. Let's see here. Yeah, it's 9.5. I knew it moved up there a little bit. 9.5 right now. I think there's some nines out there, maybe some juiced up nines, and the total here. Definitely still seeing this one climb. I've seen some 58s and a halves out there right now in this one with South Alabama and Western Michigan. All right. Western Michigan 1-3 against the spread as a dog this season. For South Alabama, they are 2-5 against the spread as a favorite here. I'm going to take the over in this one. Man, this one's going higher. I probably should have put 58.5 up there, but I think for me, I'm going to go over here. I know Western Michigan has been going under here of late. I will say the MAC has won this bowl game 3 of the last 4 years. So maybe they can get it in here as a dog in this one. All right. South Alabama also, you look, they're almost a double-digit favorite here, and they only last year won their first ever bowl game. Now, they did win impressively 59-17, but they were unfamiliar with the bowls coming in. Before last, they had, I think they're 1-4 all time, 1-3, 1-4 in bowls all time. So, all right, South Alabama's won 4 of their last 6 games coming in, and see if you guys want to play the bowl game today. Truth Teller, yeah, I do. Truth Teller, I do need help making some graphic. We need like fancy graphics with like the team logos and stuff, not just me typing it into the StreamYard like this. All right, anybody on this here with the bowl game? Here's Robert maybe going over. I know I'm going to kind of turn some people off by just bouncing all over the place with these games, but Robert was following along with me here. And good interaction in the chat. So I'm taking over in this one. In the other game, the Celebration Bowl between Jackson State and South Carolina State, there's been a pretty big move on South Carolina State, and I think I can support the move. South Carolina State was, I think, an underdog when the betting line opened. They were a 1.5-point dog to Jackson State, but look, Jackson State, it's not like their run is ending here or anything, but they still were kind of a popular pick here, and they were great. They are great this season, certainly, but right now you see South Carolina State up to a 3-point favorite. When you see moves like that, sometimes it is a runaway favorite to a certain extent, and I'll try South Carolina State at the worst possible price here, because I have a feeling that they can win this one by a touchdown or more. These teams went over a lot this year, but the steam came in on the under. Steam, in fact, came in on South Carolina State as part of this big move, and it also came in on the under. That kind of caught me by surprise here, because of these two have produced a lot of overs. And it's still only 54.5 or 55, Jackson State and South Carolina State. All right. Okay, let's go move on here and get to the NBA Cup in today with the Hawks and the Bucks here to start us off with NBA Cup. 2 games tonight to see who advances here in Las Vegas. The Bucks favored in this one. Look at that, 227. We kind of saw it. Felt like the total is starting to go down a little bit, right? Not the game betting totals, but the scoring totals in the games leading up to this one. You look at what Milwaukee did, 114-109 in that game against Orlando. They were laying 7.5, so they didn't get the money leading up to this game. In fact, they failed each of their last 2 games. They also they won at Brooklyn 118-113 as a 6-point favorite. Atlanta, of course, again, their game against the Knicks, that great, Knicks started off well. Atlanta ended up looking best of all with Young, just a very strong performance from Young in this one. Looks like a cheap number, maybe, but I just like how hard Atlanta's playing right now. And Atlanta's already had that 119-104 victory at Milwaukee just 10 days ago. So that was an under there, certainly. Now, it looks like handicappers may be preferring the over here in this one, but I know they've gone over for the most part, but I like the way the teams are competing here defensively, and I'm going to end up going under. I don't think Atlanta's 17-9 to the over this season. Make no mistake, they're still playing that brand, but I think they actually are playing a little bit better defense, and maybe they can get this one. Maybe they are hungrier than the Bucks in this game. So I'll go under here and think that Atlanta's going to at least bring it enough to keep this game under 230, even though you might think if Atlanta were to score high that maybe that favors them. But I actually think if this goes over, it's going to be Milwaukee's game. All right. Whoops. There we go. Anybody playing the game here? Here's Thomas. He says preferring Atlanta here in this one. Yeah, we know the injury situation here. You got Middleton. He is probable in this game. Giannis is on the injury report, but he's probable as well. Trae Young, he looked great. He's probable, but does carry an injury tag. Hunter is probable. And so is Bogdanovic. It looks good here. Everybody wants to get this money, is what it looks like to me. I mean, the injury report just pretty much reads probable all the way down. Jalen Johnson, questionable here. Sharon's here today. Thank you. And hey, I want to say hello and welcome to Gerard Hollinger in the chat with his comments today. Thank you, Gerard. Nice to have you here talking about Army-Navy. All right, so I'm taking the under in this one with Atlanta and Milwaukee. The other game, that one's at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Rockets and Thunder in this one. And the Thunder here are 5.5-point favorite. Total 214.5. Seeing a move here, though, definitely. I don't know. It could be coming in here any second. They've already steamed it once to the over. I think it's 216 here right now, pretty much everywhere. Some of the sharp books are actually still hanging on to a little bit lower number, but it looks like 216 everywhere here right now in this one, and maybe even a 6-point favorite here for OKC. Maybe before it goes too high here, I've already missed on a couple points. I will take the over as my play here with Houston and OKC. I think with Houston, we're seeing another case where they are playing pretty hot and pretty competitive. Now, OKC comes in with that 4-game winning streak, and man, they're almost looking like a championship team here. What was the game? There's a game next week, and or is it on the weekend here? Or well, obviously not with OKC playing, but who do they play next week? Is it Cleveland or Boston? And it's like, oh, let's just put this one on League Pass because nobody wants to see OKC take on Cleveland. Is that, or is it? I think it is Cleveland, but for Houston, they are 16-9 against the number. OKC 15-8 against the number. OKC 14-8 as a favorite, just 7-5 against the spread at home, and Houston is also 7-5 against the number on the road. So, I think this is going to be a hot game, man. Why wouldn't Houston hang in here? But I'll take the over in this one. Maybe the Thunder, is so much better than young Houston. But look, I think, Udoka is starting to get a little bit more attention again. We saw the interviews with him saying, hey, we just try to muck it up out there. We would try to mix it up, get guys off their game a little bit. And I think that's the philosophy that's kind of worked for them so far. And look, they're not, some high scoring team out there. You look at this total; it is pretty modest at 216. So I'm gonna go over in this nice game here tonight at the NBA Cup, and let's see if you guys like it here as well. And Rich says, look what the Bucks are doing here. Thomas likes Houston. Cash Kane likes the over. Donut Silks is here. Thunder's public. See, okay, good. You know me. I don't mind being a little public-y. Rich says, take the over here. I'm gonna. Robert likes the dog here in this one. And Donut says, Fred has been struggling. Todd says, look, watch out for Houston. All right. I'm going to take the over, though, in that one. And I might have some action at over there at winnable.com.
Final.
All right. I think I just saw some goals come in here, but I think there was some steam as well. So we're going to move on to the next sport here in just a moment. We'll be going to the NHL here in just a moment. Oh, let's see what we got here. But let's see if we can't roll off a few more plays here in college basketball. This is kind of how we handle the coverage, right? On a massive card like this, just give you the moves. Hope we catch something here a little bit, and then we'll preview the best games of the day here. Not going to get many mid-majors with me today, guys. We did plenty of that this week. Upstate and South Carolina steam to the over here. Two teams that definitely, I think they put together a few overs so far. Steam to the over. Upstate against Columbia. South Carolina. I don't want to say it wrong, get everybody mad, but I was just thinking Upstate and South Carolina. Upstate and South Carolina steam to the over. Also, Marquette and Dayton steam play here to the under in that big game between Marquette and Dayton. I think I do have this one loaded up in the previews. These two teams have had some overs this season, so the steam already came in on Marquette, which is interesting because Dayton don't lose at home, and this is like a pick 'em. Now, I know Marquette's doing some special things, but I don't know. I watch Dayton basketball at home, and they don't lose, right? So what's going on there? The total's down here to about 150 right now, and I'm kind of saving my pick, but you know what I'm saying. All right, Wyoming took some steam in their matchup against BYU. BYU has dominated Wyoming in the past against the number as well, but maybe they thought 17 or so was too much. This one might be going down to 16. Wyoming has taken the steam against BYU tonight as a huge dog here. Was 17 and a half, but maybe it's down to 16 and a half or so in that game tonight. Also, we talked about USD and Fresno, and I mentioned taking Fresno in that game after the steam rolled in on Fresno. The steam's also coming in on the over in that game at 153, now to 153 and a half or higher. They usually play under when those two teams match up, but the Sharps are moving the line to the over here right now. All right, and I think I saw, well, I might have missed one there. That's okay. Let's go to hockey. I know everybody's on edge here to get to the hockey card because, hey, we already know we're all happy with the way the NHL scheduled the hockey card today. There's only, 13 games, or is it 14? All right, I thought I had one more here for you. Okay, here it is. Tulsa. Tulsa took some steam here in their game against Central Florida. They were plus 12, and now they're down to maybe plus 11 or so here. Tulsa taking steam against Central Florida. Central Florida's had their way with Tulsa in the past in that series. But here come the Sharps taking Tulsa here today. All right, let's go to hockey. Got 70 of you in here. Thanks a lot. All right, the Blackhawks here will take on the we're going to look at them all, even if you got no wonder the NHL tries to play them all at once so they can hide games like this. 355, 6/15 here in this one with the Blackhawks taking on the Devils. Here, let's see what we can do, see what we can work with this one. Here, I mean, we got two teams that definitely produce some unders for sure coming in, and the Devils haven't exactly been a profitable team at home so far this season. They're giving up about a quarter of a unit each game, but still, you got a Chicago team here that they might be okay on the puck line here. Maybe +2.5 will work for me again. In this one, I'm going to take a look and see at least what that price is, because I don't know if I trust these Devils at this price. Even against the Blackhawks team, they can get the number here sometimes. So they are just 13-12 on the puck line as an underdog this season, but now they are getting plus $1.15 or so. This thing's up to $3.70 now at some of the square books. And the total, I believe, here may be shifting to 6 under 15 right now. I think we are seeing a move here. Slight move here to the under, with two teams definitely going under this season. Chicago 10-16-3 to the under this season, including 5-11-1 to the under on the road. So maybe that might be the way to look here. But gosh, I almost want to. I'll just take the under here with two teams definitely going under. New Jersey 12-16-2 to the under, and 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games. Chicago's gone under in 8 of their last 9 games on the road. New Jersey's gone under in 5 straight. I think we'll take the under here. I won't mess with that big price today. And let's see what we got, if anything, here with you guys. Thanks, Truth Teller. I don't know how we can do it. I mean, I'll do whatever I can to have some hot graphics in here. All right, Johnny's on the Devils first period. And Devils under here for our Tomps. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing. I feel like I should have made that a premium pick, really, but I hear a lot of talk about from some of the cappers about the over in this game, and the sharp action let me look at that actually. Here we are on the first game of hockey, and now I've got to look at a market move because there's so many games. Oh, yeah, they are moving to the over a little bit, but okay. Devils puck line. Hawks might get a goal. Well, okay, 3-1 works, but will it be 4-1? I guess. Devils money line here. So yeah, okay, I got you. Let's move on to the next one. I'll take the under. Let's get a better game in here. How about the Kings and the Rangers in this one? This has always been a trouble spot for the Kings, even though they're coming in hot here. They did actually lose that last game, remember, against New Jersey, 3-1, and they don't actually fare very well against the Rangers. I imagine they might have a tough time here as well. We see two teams that, Kings 9-17-3 to the under, 4-9-3 to the under on the road. Let's fire up the old goalie computer here and see. I didn't think it was that important on that last game. You know what I mean? But maybe we got to know now. Still not going to be a lot of goal, even though this is an early game. I don't think we have it just yet. But Igor and Kemper for LA here in this one. So I'm going to end up on the under. It's 5.5 here right now. Just to the over here by $1.15 or so. Rangers, they're not really a solid under team, but LA definitely here on the road. A lot of unders right now. for the Kings. So I think that's the way I'll just end up looking in this one. Kings have gone under in 6 of their last 7 games overall. The Rangers have actually gone under in 4 of their last 5. So give me the under here in this one with the Kings and the Rangers here, but I don't know if I don't know if the Kings can do this one. I think they just might have a problem when they face the Rangers, and even if the Rangers have been, not looking great, but that still they got that win against Buffalo last time out. But man, the loss to Chicago, the loss to Seattle. But I don't know. I don't trust the Kings in this one. That's one of my teams. So let's see what you got here with Robert on the Rangers here in this one. R. Thompson's on the Kings here. Philly Eagle Flyer says Rangers first period under, also under 5.5. First period draw, full game draw. And also lean here, Rangers in regulation. Fernando's here today. He was going to play quarterback in the bowl game, but he'll give us soccer picks. He's got BTTS in the Berlin game today. Thank you. Yeah, truth teller, we'll work it out. Man, I can't believe I almost thought you were kidding there with that. But, man, I don't know how we do it, man. There's a lot of games, and I don't know how to put them on the screen. But I'd work with anybody to have some cool graphics. Mikey does so much work. I know his graphics are cool. And this works for me because I'm such a, bloop, bloop, hard graphics. You know how they are. And we got the live scoreboard behind us, don't forget. So, but it would be cool to have something awesome and take this to the next level. Hey, as long as you guys are here, I'm okay. I don't care if we have no graphics, but it does make things easier. All right, I think that's it for you guys on this one. Justin's here. Sports money is money. All right, I'm on the under here, and I might go Rangers premium. I'm thinking I want to believe the Kings are still the better team than the Rangers right now. Even on the road, they can beat them, but the Kings have trouble in the game always with the Rangers. All right, how about the Flyers here taking on the Wild in this one? And give the credit to the Flyers, man. They won 2 straight here. Maybe this is an okay matchup for them. The Flyers coming off wins against Detroit and Columbus. Wasn't anything great, but they have had plenty of success against Philadelphia. They've covered the puck against Minnesota. They've covered the puck line in 5 straight meetings against the Wild. So why couldn't they hang in here in this one? Now, the puck line is a little bit pricey, even with Philadelphia at -$2, but I don't know, could be a 1-goal game still. This feels like a game that Philadelphia plays well in. I don't want to lay $2, though, to get on that puck line, man. Maybe I might take Philly here because as far as the total is concerned in this one, 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. The Steam came in on the under, however. You see the total there, 5.5 over -120. That definitely is the line here right now. I mean, I got to think it might go over here with this one. Let's see what we got here with Urson and Fleury. Yep, both goalies are confirmed here in this one. Fleury with a 3.13 goals against, and Urson 2.84 goals against here. So, all right, man, I want to try the Flyers here at this point. I really not getting enough of a price for a premium, but man, I want to take them here in this game. All right. Give me the over. I'll take the over in this one as my play. Man, I want to take the Flyers here, and I don't know if I can go premium because at a plus $1.30, it feels like I want the Flyers and I'm not getting the right price. That's too bad. I'll take the over here in this one. Anybody feeling the same way? Man, I could be swayed here still. I know the Wild, they're just wild. They're just so great. They did lose that game to Edmonton 7-1, and I lost with them. Maybe I'm remembering that. All right. Justin's, yeah, probably not yet, Justin, but maybe it will be a premium with the Rangers here. Philly Eagle Flyers got first period under. He's got the 5.5 under. He's got the full period for first period draw. Then he's got the Wild on the money line. Here's Cash Kane on the over here. Art Thompson's on the under. And Philly Eagle Flyers is going to be bringing in a play on Atalanta. Joe T says over is the best bet in the Wild game. All right, then I'm on the over with Jover here in this one. This series is totally over, right? Did I mention that? Or right, what was it? 4 out of 5. Oh, that's totally over, but Flyers are 9-5 to the over on the road. I know Minnesota goes under a lot at home. They're 3-8-1 to the under. So I'll just use it as my play here on the show. I'll take the over in this one. All right. Robert says Philly here. Rich says Flyers, puck line, and over. You guys got a lot of plays on this one. Parlayed under 6.5 in the Flyers Wild game. All right, next up, the Golden Knights are on the road against the Oilers here in this one, with the Oilers favored here at 135. And whoops, we have a typo there, don't we? Let me make sure I get the right goalie in there. For some reason, I have Ottawa. I have the goalies flip-flopped here. For some reason on the Ottawa, on the Pittsburgh Ottawa game right behind it, I have the goalies switched here. Sorry about that, gang. Here we go. See, we need better graphics. Now I got to put for the Senators, I got to put the right goalie for them. I've got Skinner for them. All right, maybe I was tired. I don't know. All right, here we go. That's the right one there now, right? With the Oilers favored, $1.35. And this one, they might be even up higher than that right now. The move has kind of been here on the Oilers. In fact, that Bovada, they're $1.55 right now. So I don't know. Maybe they're $1.45 or $1.50 here. The higher they go, the more it makes me want to take the Golden Knights here in this one. But I'll probably just end up on the under with Hill going up against Skinner here. Let's take a look and make sure we got the right goalies slated. Nobody's been confirmed just yet, but Aiden Hill, 13-4 with a 2.59 goals against expected here for the Golden Knights. 19-7-3 this season. Edmonton, 17-10-2 with Stuart Skinner in there, 2.81 goals against and an 89.5% save percentage. He's 10-7-2 here on the season, and I'll just take the under here in this one. Both teams come in riding 4-game winning streaks, so this is a hot game at 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific. I expect the goaltending maybe to turn out here. You got VGK 3-6 to the under as a dog so far this season, so I'll take the under here with VGK and Edmonton, and I might be on VGK here, or at least I'll bet them. Let's catch up on a little college basketball steam here. I think we've missed about 4 or 5 plays, and we'll get back to this massive NHL card here with Providence and St. Bonaventure taking some steam here right now to the over. There's already been steam that came in on Providence at -3.5 or so. They went up to 4 or 4.5. Providence and St. Bonaventure, though, steam here definitely going up to 128.5 or 129 right now. You know, I would think that's an under game, but steam to the over right there. Also, South Carolina upstate in that game against South Carolina. We already mentioned it, but here's some steam on upstate at plus 26, and it's going down to plus 25 here right now with South Carolina upstate taking steam against South Carolina. Also, Ohio and Marshall took some steam here to the under in this game. Ohio and Marshall have definitely had overs this season, and the series is pretty much an over as well, but it was 159. I would expect this to probably go down to 157 or so here, but steam here to the under with Ohio and Marshall. All right. Oh, also, Western Kentucky took some steam there in that college football bowl game. The 9.5s that I mentioned, they steamed Western Kentucky here. I mean, Western Kentucky. When is that game? Is that on? I know it's on next Wednesday. So Western Kentucky and JMU I got my Westerns mixed up there, but Western Kentucky and JMU next Wednesday. Western Kentucky took steam there from 9.5 down to 8.5 here just a little while ago. So might as well throw that in there. All right, I think I'm all caught up. Let's continue on with the NHL here. Thanks for everyone hanging in. We got 80 of you here watching me try to fumble my way through this massive card of NHL games because nobody wants 15 NHL games in one day, but we got it. Stop Geo, hello. Daniel, hello. Thanks for joining me. Cash Kane says, just put the Golden Knights on the puck line and lay the money. And Thomas going to get me some sports money shirts. How about that? I like the gray. I know he wore this one yesterday, but told Mike I like the gray. But I like the dark colors too. Man, I got my sports money shirt, so I feel all official. Hello to Lenora. It's so nice to have you here. All right, Philly Eagle Flyer, of course. I mean, he does hockey for life. He does me up good every game, gives me something to look at. Penguins and Senators here in this one. I got the goalies right now, right? Or I still got, okay. I'm sure who is it, Yari? I screwed up another one, truth teller. All right. I just had the goalies backwards on 3 of the games. 3 of the teams. Okay, here we go. Penguins and Senators here with Forsberg and $1.55. Is that right? That would be up from $1.40 or so that I saw when I typed the line in. But yeah, we're down here to maybe $1.40 or so, maybe even $1.35 here with the Senators. So definitely been a move on Pittsburgh. It feels like here a little bit anyway. And I don't know. I think Ottawa's really done a nice job against Pittsburgh in this series in recent form here. Ottawa has won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams at Ottawa, and 5 of the last 6 games overall. So I think I want to take Ottawa here at minus $1.35. This looks like a cheap price. I kind of want to take it as a premium now at this reduced price, but I think I've already spit it out here. So just give me Ottawa here in this one. I like the total as well, but maybe I like the side here better now at a 10 or 15 cent discount. I might be generous on that term itself. So move here, and I get it, because maybe with Forsberg in there, people are going to be like, hey, I wouldn't say he's been terrible this year, but Yari has been struggling for sure, right? I mean, he's got a 4 goals against. He's got 88.5% save percentage right now. So I'm going to take the Senators here in this game, but there might be some goals scored, if you know what I mean. here. These two teams have had some overs. Not necessarily in this series. Let me see what the numbers are a little bit. Or I'll get what you guys have, I think, on this one and see what you guys are doing. It's Pittsburgh 13-9-1 to the over as a dog. And we got 72 Impalas here. Great to have you. Cash Kane says take the Senators here. Rich says Penguins and under. R. Thompson's on the Penguins, so I'm all by myself. Oh no, Cash Kane's with me. But it's 3-1 there. It looks like there is more Penguins action. Penguins first period anyway. And money line and -0.5 in the first period. Also liking the over. Okay. It's going to catch up on the steam here in just a moment. Let's try to knock a few more of these hockey games out before we hit the bottom of the hour. Next up, the Maple Leafs are taking on the Red Wings here in this one. Maple Leafs big favorite on the road. $1.80 or so here. Yeah, Detroit starting to struggle a little bit after looking good early, and they've 11-14-4 right now. And Toronto's look good with a 2-game winning streak here. But Detroit usually in this series always hangs in there, it seems like, against Toronto, even when times were maybe even more difficult than this. So I think the numbers here kind of favor the Red Wings. But what's that puck line? If it's over $1.75, I don't think I can do it. But I don't think it's quite that high. It's $1.70 here. I want to take Detroit in this game to hang in there. I mean, they've covered the puck line, and they're not really favored very often, right? They've covered the puck line in 10 of their last 11 games. They've covered 5 straight puck lines at home. Toronto has won 6 of the last 7 meetings here in Detroit. But what are you going to do? You're going to lay 175 with Toronto? Am I going to take 175? I think it's a 1-goal game, so maybe I should play the exact score line here, I guess. You have a Toronto team here gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, and Toronto also 7-13-2 to the under as a favorite here. So I would think we're going to get a 3-2 game here, or so it feels like to me. Maybe it could even be a lower scoring game than that. The total right now is still 6 under. We're not seeing any 5.5s. I'll take the Red Wings plus 1.5. Either I was going to lay $1.75. It looks like one way or the other. So I'll take the Red Wings. I think they might have a chance maybe to shock them here a little bit. Toronto's just 5-5 straight up on the road. So maybe I'm just swayed a little bit that, the Red Wings, they just aren't missing right now on the puck line. They're hanging in there every game, but Toronto always wins this game. All right. Final. Oh, the Penguins were a consensus play back there. You guys are going against me. Gosh, they're going to replace me here on this show. Daniel liked the Leafs here. And Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Leafs as well. It's all Toronto. It's like a consensus play coming in here. Yeah, I'm favoring the under, Daniel. You better believe it. R. Thompson's on the under as well. All right, I'll take the Red Wings, but I'm taking them on the puck line, so Maple Leafs could still win, and I could win too. But I'm making Red Wings are, for some reason, they're struggling again. Well, we know the reasons, but team play. Right. Thomas says it made it as a consensus play here. There was a lot of support there. I don't know if anybody was on the Red Wings but me, huh? But you had Rich, you had Impala, you had Philly Eagle Flyer, all on Toronto. So it was at least 3-0. All right, next up, the Ducks are on the road against the Blue Jackets here, and you got the Blue Jackets $1.70 here in this one. The total 6 over 20 with Merzlikins in goal going up here against Gibby. For the Jackets here, they're 12, 13, and 4 right now. They've lost 2 straight. The Ducks are on a big losing streak right now. They did hang in there and got the money, got the puck line against Toronto last game, but this is the 4th game of the road trip right now. They've lost all 3 of them here, but
playing.
For Columbus here, they are 10 and 4 on the puck line at home, but man, some of those are as underdogs. Yeah, they're just 1 and 3 as a puck line favorite. So, man, I would think Anaheim here, they're hot on the puck line. Could I really pull the trigger on this one here? The Ducks are probably minus $1.70 on the puck line here. What are they on the $1.70? Again, you got $1.75 one way or the other in this game. And Anaheim 7-1 against the puck line in their last 8 games on the road. Here's the thing that's going to put me on Anaheim probably. Because Columbus is, like I said, they're a very profitable team at home. But man, they took the steam too. $1.70, is it any higher than this? $1.75, $1.80 or so. The Ducks have won 5 straight times here in Columbus for whatever reason, and I don't know, maybe just by luck. Maybe it's the luck of the draw there. They've just for some reason found the way to win this game 5 straight times when coming into Columbus. Basically 5 years in a row. That's how it works. So I'll take Anaheim on the puck line here, plus 1.5 at minus $1.75. Either way, you're laying $1.75 one way or the other in this game, unless you shave it down to 1 or whatever. But I'm just going to take Anaheim here, and they can maybe win this game even. They're covering the puck line every time. They've won this game 5 straight times here. And with the Gibby in there against Merzlikins, you got to figure 2-1, 3-2, right in there. Probably be a Columbus win by 1 goal. Okay, Gibby 3.01 goals against, Merzlikins 3.06 goals against, but still, you look at the total, it's still 6 over 20 there right now. Yeah, it's still shaded to the over, but I'm going to take Anaheim here as my pick. This series goes under almost every time, it feels like. 4 out of the last 5. Okay, 4 out of the last 5. Columbus has been going over a lot at home of late. They're 11-3 to the over this season, but Anaheim is under. We know that. 8-18 to the under, 3-9-1 to the under on the road. I'm going to take the Ducks here plus 1.5. That's what I'm going to do. All right, here we go with Daniels on the Blue Jackets here, maybe. And Philly Eagle Flyer says first period, both teams score, so it goes over 1.5. He's also got over 5.5 and 6.5 and sprinkle the draw.
Final.
I think that's what that said. Here's Impala liking the Ducks with me. Rich says go under in this one. I'm probably going to go under here, even with this bad goal, with these certainly mediocre goaltending this season. Nothing against my guy Gibby, but under here also for our Toms. Pretty sure that's what we're going with this, with that one. That's what I like is my best play. So, but I'll take the Ducks here. Under should be the play. Yeah, really should. It feels like. All right. Going to keep going here right now with the Sabres taking on the Caps, and the Caps here $1.85, 6 over 20 or so. A big line here in this one with Buffalo. They usually hang, same thing here. They usually hang in here against the Capitals, do the Sabres, but right now they're on a big losing streak. They haven't won here in a couple of weeks now, it seems like. So Washington going to be a big favorite here, but man, Buffalo, could they snap out of it here and upset hot Washington here. Washington has won 3 straight again all of a sudden. Wins over Columbus, Montreal, and Toronto. Not the hardest of schedules here. And they beat just Columbus 2-1 in that last game on the road. Didn't get that puck line, but Buffalo here, they did get the puck line against the Rangers in that 3-2 loss. So, maybe Rangers are still better than the Capitals, even though we know that feels like the Capitals are moving one way and the Rangers have been moving the other right now. But, man, Buffalo, what can you say? This is their spot. It feels like another puck line at $1.65 or so for me. This is a crazy schedule today, it feels like. What is this price on the $1.65? Just going to take another weird puck line here with Buffalo on the road against Washington. Now, this one should have more goals, I would think. Let's see what it says here with these two, right? Washington is 6-3-1 to the over in their last 10 games. Washington has won 7 of their last 8 games overall. 5 straight meetings between these two teams at Washington have gone over. That sounds pretty good. I'll take Buffalo here. Maybe this one's going to be a 4-3 game eventually tonight. Let's see what we got here. Our Tom says under, though. And Philly Eagle Flyer says Caps money line in this one. All right, I'll keep it moving here right now with the Canadians taking on the Jets with Sam. And God, this card is long. And we've got another weird, game that Montreal usually hangs in there and gives Winnipeg a tough time when these two teams meet. But, Montreal here having some woes, having lost 2 out of their last 3. They lost against Pittsburgh 9-2 in that last game. They got blowed out. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they do come in here having lost that last game. They lost to VGK 3-2 at home, but they did rout Boston before that 8-1. What to make of this one with Sam in there against Hellebuck? I'm expecting here tonight. Hellebuck, a 2.21 goals against, and these two teams do go under when they face one another. In fact, see here, 4 out of the last 5 meetings here in Winnipeg have gone under with these two teams, and Winnipeg has gone under in 9 of their last 12 games overall. Montreal's been going over a little bit on the road. They're 9-3 to the over on the road so far, so that could be a deal breaker for some, but I guess I'll just find a way to get on the Canadians here, plus a goal and a half. Again, just going to keep taking these puck lines on the road, it feels like today. Montreal plus 1.5 at minus $1.35 or so, it feels like. See what you guys have in this one. Maybe this strategy seems flawed, but this is just what I keep ending up on here at this point. It feels like Montreal just seems to get these puck lines. Here we go. It's going to be Daniel's on the Jets in this one. I mean, I guess we could lay 265 or so, right? And I'm watching here. Yeah, I see you guys talking about the Bayern game here. 1-0 on that one. I got Atalanta here right now, 1-0. Watching them here. Flea Mathis, great to have you in the chat. Nice to have you here. Here's back to the action here with the Jets money line. And Joe says, pick them up. Best plays on the community tab here today. I guess I could go there and see what he has and not say it, but I might do that. Thanks, Joe. Have a good day. Philly Eagle Flyer on the Jets here. Also, thank you to Flea with the dono in there. Appreciate it. I think he's trying to get a Lions pick out of me there, but I'm going to I'm going to wait if you don't mind. I'm looking at, oh man, I'm looking at Jover's plays here. I want to write these all down. Wow, Joe. Woo. Okay. I'm not going to say anything, but he said one of his plays is on this game. So I'll just wrap up the coverage right there. And
Team playing.
oh, it was on the he meant on the Sabres Capitals game. So we had already moved on from that one. All right. Thanks, Flea. Jetson over there for Rich. Fernando. Canadians team total over. I like that. That helps out the play with the Canadians here. So, okay, I'll just take the Canadians here. Another puck line for me here on the show. Crazy enough. Can we do it again here with the Blues taking on the Stars here? It seems like this. It seems like a repeat performance every game right now. When these you got the much better team, obviously, in the Dallas Stars against a team that always covers the puck line in this series. It feels like for St. Louis. Here against Dallas. They've covered the puck line here in 5 straight meetings between these two teams. Now, Dallas has lost 3 out of the last 4 games, so maybe they've been vulnerable here of late. They lost a weak Nashville 4-1 at home. They lost at VGK. They lost at the Kings. They whipped up on Calgary 6-2 at home. But, you got 2 teams that are going over. This series has gone over. In fact, 10 of the last 12 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under, including the 5 straight meetings here in Dallas between these 2 teams have gone under. So what's it going to be, like 3-2? I would guess for some reason St. Louis always gets the puck line in this game. Probably have Bennington and Ottinger here. Bennington at 2.98 goals against. He's 8-11-12 overall. Ottinger 14-7, 2.59 goals against, and a 91% save percentage. Dallas has gone under 7-12-3 to the under as a favorite. This series goes under, man. I'm going to take another puck line here, I'm pretty sure, with St. Louis again. I can't help myself. At minus $1.35 or $1.40 here with St. Louis on the puck line. See what you guys have and see if you can take me off this run of these puck lines here. All right, let's see here. Cash Kane likes the Blues on the money line. Joe T says you got to take the Blues or nothing here. All right, I like what you guys are saying about that. You guys are on the Blues. I might be on the Blues. Daniel says the under sounds pretty good after hearing that. Phil Eagle Flyer says first period, both teams to score, also taking over 5.5. And the Blues here on the money line. Wow, and I was going to take them on the puck line. You guys are taking them on the money line. Yeah, we'll sprinkle the money line tonight. Give me my official play here on the Blues. Hey, look, the Blues are a, profitable team on the road. They're only 9-7, but they're going to get you. They're one of the most profitable teams in the league on the road so far. They get over 0.4 of a unit per game on the road so far this season. And Dallas is 11-3 at home. They're monsters. They get you about 0.2 units per home game. So I'll just try St. Louis here. You guys liked them, and that keeps me on it. Nate the Great is here today. Thank you to Nate. Okay, keep it going. There's a ton of steam to report here, but man, we're almost making it to the finish line with Predator. 5 games are left, though. Probably should look at some steam here. Predators and Avalanche here in this one. The Avalanche $1.80 here in this one, and the total 6/15 or so. Could it be this? I don't know if it could. I mean, there's nothing worse than these Nashville Predators taking steam, just like they did last game here, and they finally got a win, beating Dallas 4-1 on the road. They've taken steam already here today. It's down maybe $1.75 or so. I mean, that's not going to move the line too much, but the move was on Nashville for some reason. Nashville comes in 8-16-6. And Colorado 17-14 so far here this season. Colorado does dominate this series, that's for sure. They've won here, 10 of the last 13 meetings, 5 straight here at home. But, Colorado's not exactly profitable at home. In fact, they're 7-8 at home right now. But Nashville 1-11 as an underdog, and the price, I don't know how reasonable. Maybe it could be a puck line here, but I'll just take the money line here with Colorado at $1.80 or so. Nashville loses 0.6 units per game on the road. And let's see here. Colorado's won 6 straight meetings here at home against the Predators. Colorado's failed to cover the puck line in 8 straight, coming off of a home loss. So I'm just going to go with the money line here. Give the underdog credit again. The steam's in on the underdog. Maybe it'll be a 1-goal game. I'll just take a big favorite here. I'm laying so much chalk today in the National Hockey League, but we've had a good week in hockey. So just because I stumbled here the last day or two, but all right, not much from you guys. Oh, here's Philly Eagle Flyer Avalanche game. First period over. Both teams to score. Go over 5.5. Avalanche on the money line. I'll take them on the money line too. What am I going to do? Just lay a bunch of 175s. If there were some pick'em games out there, we could try to play those. This one's pretty close here. The Bruins taking on the Canucks here. Canucks $1.50 or so, maybe $1.45 right now. In this one. In fact, look at this move. There has been a move on Boston. The steam came in on Boston. This line's a little bit stale. Showing $1.25 at Bet Online right now. I'll call it $1.30. There's some $1.35s out there at some square books, but for the most part, this one feels like the moves come in on Boston. And I'm not sure about that. This has always been a trouble spot for Boston, if I'm not mistaken, here of late. Boston is 1-5 here in the last 6 trips into Vancouver. I mean, Vancouver, now look, they're still the same. Vancouver struggle at home and win on the road, but Boston here, they're not exactly profitable on the road. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. And why wouldn't this one? You see the 5.5 there. Maybe they're already onto that one a little bit. Maybe that's where we should go with this one. I'm going to take the under as my play here. It's been Boston that's going under here of late. There's no doubt Boston is 7-2 to the over as an underdog. And Vancouver is 9-5 to the over at home. But I'm going to go against the trends a little bit here. Or I say against the trends. This series has gone under, right? So sometimes when you get on these trips, I like to zero in on trends that are, division opposed or whatever, and sometimes stay away from the non-conference trends. But when you get a road trip, right, like Boston will probably, when they go in and they face same teams, right, on the road trips, the Winnipegs, the Vancouvers, Seattle, maybe they even swing through Cal, whatever. Right, you get into that same mode. So if Vancouver always wins the matchup and it always goes under, I'm probably going to end up Vancouver and under no matter what, even if there's no doubt Boston showing trends to the over and Vancouver's trended over all year. So maybe I'm a little bit contrarian here, but I'm going to go under as my play with Boston and Vancouver. Nate says, how about that college hoop? And we're going to have some college hoop here with the biggest matchups in just a moment. Philly Eagle Flyer says Canucks money line leaning to the under. First period under 1.5. Boston team total under 2.5. Panthers and Flames here in this one. And again, here's a Eastern Conference team that kind of has some trouble against a team that they certainly have been better than, even though, Calgary, I'm talking about in general, Calgary's been hot at home this year, even though they've lost 3 out of their last 4 games. But Calgary's won 5 straight meetings here against the Panthers over the last few years here for sure. And the overs come in 8 out of the last 10 years here in Calgary. So here you go. You got the Flames, and there's no doubt. I mean, you still have the Panthers here, a heavy favorite on the road, almost $2 because they're the much better team. We know that they're 18-10-2, but don't forget the Flames play solid at home. They're 10-4 at home so far this season, even though they're 14-11-5 overall. Yeah, they've lost 3 out of their last 4. It's a little bit of a problem. But Florida's good numbers all around. There's no denying that. They're 9-5 on the road. Pretty impressive here. They're actually profitable on the road. But Calgary will get you a third of a unit per game at home. So I don't know. I think that's a pretty solid play, and I'm going to take the Calgary Flames here I'm going to take them on the money line here to win this one against Florida. No screwing around with any big puck lines here. I'll probably put a little bit on both and make sure I'm well covered here in this one. The puck line's plus 1.5 at minus 160, but I would rather have 1 plus 160 here with the Flames. I will try them on the money line here. Give me the Calgary Flames to beat Florida tonight. See what you have here in this one. If you're interested, we have our Tomps likes the over here in this one. These two teams have gone over, like I said, in not only 8 of the last 10, but 5 straight meetings. Or no, let me see here. I don't have that broken down, the meetings here between these two. Florida is over in 5 straight games coming in off of a road loss. Daniel says the Flames are fading. They need some new propane. That's right. And Philly Eagle Flyer with this one rather see those goalies they're confirmed with Bob and Dustin Wolf there, it feels like. So we'll see. But I feel pretty good about those guys right now. Both guys with a 2.8 and change goals against average. Dustin Wolf, a 91% save percentage. He is 8-5-1 so far this season. I'm going to take Calgary. All right, a couple more. We're going to rattle off some college basketball steam and then preview about 5 or 6 games and wrap the show up and have the drawing. Thank you, everybody. Got 68 of you in here right now. I was going to say how many were actually in here, but then I was going to chuckle. So I said 68 of you in here right now. Utah taking on the Sharks here. All right. I was a little tired here. The Jazz, you guys. Maybe they'll call the hockey team the Jazz, and they'll have 2 teams named the Jazz. Remember, the St. Louis Cardinals used to have the football team and the baseball team. They were both called the St. Louis Cardinals for many years. When the football team was in St. Louis before they moved to Arizona, they were St. Louis Cardinals. And, they always had to say if you were talking football or baseball. So maybe they'll name the team the Jazz because everyone knows the Jazz, with all due respect to those great jazz musicians in Salt Lake City. Probably not known for the most. Let's talk about the Utah Hockey Club here. I was just looking here because there was a goal kind of caught my attention. So, yeah, I might have been talking a bunch of nonsense gibberish there, but we did see Mainz here just score just now to take a 2-0 lead over Bayern Munich. I know you guys are kind of following that one a little bit in the chat right now. So also games have reached halftime here. Ipswich leading Wolves 1-0. Newcastle over Leicester 1-0 halftime. Everton and Arsenal are scoreless. Fulham leads Liverpool 1-0. All right, Utah here taking on San Jose in this one. And, Well, I don't know. Maybe this is a spot. You got, hey, San Jose can't lose them all, right? In fact, they're coming in here off of a win over St. Louis, 4-3, and you're taking on a Utah team that has fared pretty okay on the road, actually, so far, 9-6 on the road so far this season. But San Jose can be more comfortable at home. I don't think this is a great price that you want to lay on the road. I'd probably be more interested in the Sharks here in this one. Now, Utah is 6-2 to the over as a favorite. I've got in here Vejmilka and Gurdjieff. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a problem with Gurdjieff in here. Vejmilka's got a 2.36 goals against. Gurdjieff has a 3.36 goals against. But probably going to, what's the puck line here? If it's $2, I'm out of here. And it's 165. I might be on another puck line here with a puck line dog at home again with San Jose. It feels like here now. Utah has been covering puck lines on the road, but that's mostly as an underdog. San Jose, we know they're an underdog. In fact, they're 21-11 to the puck line as an underdog. Utah is a puck line favorite, just 4-6. I'll take San Jose here at home on the puck line. Nobody wants these ugly puck line favorites. That's not a good way to play it, but I'll do it on Saturday. If you're going to give me 15 games, I'm not going to be, goofing around too much here. I think Daniel's talking about my hockey anger. He'd take the Sharks, but heck no, right? Philly Eagle Flyer says first period go over with both teams to score. He's got over 5.5, 6.5. He's also got first period full game draws. And let's see here. Cash Kane says, give me Utah on the puck line. So going up against me there. Curtis likes the over here in this one. I'm weighing my options. Like I said, these two teams they don't score much, and we know there's some unders in here with these guys for sure. But like I said, Utah as a road favorite, that 6-2 kind of stands out, and San Jose has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games at home. So I don't mind that, Curtis. I wasn't going there with a premium. I mean, that was what I was going to bet, but you like it. I might make it a premium here, and you know what I mean? But our Tom says under. That's in general, I would look at it as an under, but I just think uncovering a couple of those stats here may sway me. All right. I think that's it. I'm going to be able to finish this hockey here right now, and then we'll go all the college basketball with the steam and the games. Last game in hockey. Lightning and Kraken in this one. And the Lightning have actually had some pretty good success against the Kraken in the short time so far for the Kraken in the league. The Lightning have had their number. So far, Tampa Bay's won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams here. They are a road favorite. I get that. And look, Seattle's had some success. They're 8-6 here at home, but pretty much a break-even proposition, as is Tampa Bay on the road. But Tampa Bay is 11-6 as a favorite, and Seattle is 8-12 as an underdog. And you still have Tampa Bay a favorite here. Now, I understand they're only $1.35 or so. That even be a little bit lower here at $1.30. Actually, looks like a pretty good play here right now. But I might just go with my best play here because I'm not sure about the total just yet. In this game. Now, Seattle has gone under in 7 of their last 8 home games when coming off of a win. I think that dates back a little bit to last season, though. So I'm going to give it my best here with Tampa Bay. I think that was probably going to be my premium, and I was going to try to see if I could come up with the total here on the show. Seattle's been, like I said, going under quite a bit here. Of late, too. I mentioned that trend, but they were under in 8 of their last 10. Tampa Bay, however, 8-5 to the over on the road. I just don't know. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay, though, as a favorite here on the road against the Kraken tonight. That's it for hockey. All right, let's see here. Any plays here? Phil Eagle Flyer is going to join me here on the Bolts. And here's another little Tampa Bay action with Cash Kane, and I'm on Tampa Bay. It's almost consensus-y. And we could use another team or two. I'd like to, anybody else like Tampa? We could take it, but I don't know. I'll move on and we'll see. Let me get to this steam here, and then we'll talk college basketball for the last couple of minutes here. But there have been probably 10 plays here while we were trying to rattle off all those games. So let's see what we've got here with the steam that came in. There it is. Art Thompson on Tampa. Don't twist. I'm not twisting your arm or anything. I just oh, wait. Oh, no. Art Thompson was one of the three, right? Art Thompson, Cash Kane, Philly Eagle Flyer, and me. That's 4. So I'm going to – I don't know if Thomas is still out there. It feels like a consensus, but like I said, and on top of it, I really thought it was strong enough. Almost I was going to play it as a premium. So, okay. Right? If you think we knew it – if we one of the teams is obviously not going to win, Thomas. One of the 4 or 5 consensus plays is not going to win. We know that for 33 straight days or plays there. Some days we had 2 parlays. Some days we had no parlays, but whatever it is, it's 33 in a row. And that number 4 there. So that's good. We'll see if we get another. We might get a college basketball consensus play here as we get rolling into it. Let's cover the steam and then go with a few games here that I picked for a pick. And like I said, I have a 12. I think it's 11 or 12 plays for the morning games here. There's one game starting right now. In fact, let's get to it real quick, and then we'll get to the steam. Coming up right now, top of the hour in 3 minutes, it's Memphis and Clemson here. Clemson is a 6.5-point favorite. We'll get to the steam in just a moment. I forgot this is a early game, and I wanted to preview it because we always do the early games, right? So Clemson here, they're down to 5.5. I like that. I want to take Clemson here. You know what I'll do? I'll take the Tigers in this one, the Clemson Tigers as my play. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here from 146.5 or so down to 145, 144.5. It's probably pretty good. I think that steam's probably pretty good, but I think I just want to take Clemson here to roll against Memphis in this one. I'll take Clemson. Clemson comes in 9-1. Look, Memphis may be getting the headlines because they're Memphis right now. I guess if you could say that. But Clemson comes in 9-1. They're the ranked team here, right? We're like, hey, we take ranked team, underdogs against some ranked teams or whatever. It's Clemson that's ranked here right now in the top 20. They are 16th here currently. Memphis 4-1 against the spread on the road, 4-1 against the spread as an underdog. Those are definitely impressive numbers. Clemson's done a little covering themselves here. They're on a winning streak, and they covered their last 2 games against Miami and Kentucky. So for Memphis, they've lost 2 of 3, including that shocker to Arkansas State. Remember, we were on Arkansas State in that one. I can't remember what level I was on there, but they also lost, of course, to Auburn, but they failed to cover 3 straight. So I'm going to take Clemson here right now. It starts here in like 1 minute. And I kind of want to watch that. Kind of want to put that on since Bayern Munich is struggling here. Kind of want to put that game on here and watch it while we're rolling these. So we'll get to some other games in just a moment, but we'll roll off some steam here right now as well. Plenty of college basketball steam to talk about, and then we'll get done with the show here. How about Hawaii tonight against Corpus Christi? They were a 3-point favorite. They're up to like 5 already. Hawaii doesn't lose at home right now against any of these mediocre teams, and I'm sure that's what even the Sharps are kind of seeing through this one. Right now, Hawaii is in a pretty good run at home, no doubt about it, even dating back to last season. So uh, Hawaii took the steam here. I like Hawaii tonight. I got to be honest with you. I'll take them here as a bonus. I'll just take them right now, whatever it is. 3, 5.5. I'm gonna peek at it here. Yeah, it's the final game of the night. You know that. Midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. They're up to 5.5 here against Corpus Christi. Hawaii just 5-3. Corpus Christi 6-4. But come on, Hawaii. Hawaii. Just want to get this one. I want to see what the current run of victories here at home for Hawaii is right now. 12 of their last 13 they've won at home, dating back to last season. They're playing Corpus Christi, gang. Corpus Christi's done a nice job so far getting a few numbers here with their 6-4 record, but they are 5-3 against the spread. Hawaii just 2-3 against the spread at home, but they are 5-1 straight up at home. So I'm going to take Hawaii in that one. It's not part of our preview, but that steam came in on Hawaii just moments ago. Steam came in here on Bethune-Cookman plus 24.5 on the extra board in their game here against West Virginia. So West Virginia was a 25.5 point favorite. They're down to 23.5 maybe or so here with Bethune-Cookman taking steam against West Virginia. Also, Wichita State and DePaul in that interesting game I mentioned. Let's see here. Under 152 in this one. The steam came in already on DePaul, and now it's come in here on the under in this one with Wichita State and DePaul, 152 down to 151. Grand Canyon and Georgia. Well, who knew we were going to see this matchup ever, right? Well, you know the SEC. Now they're doing it in basketball. We don't slight Grand Canyon. We know they're a great program, but the steam's coming in on the under here with Grand Canyon and Georgia. This one was, about 149, but it looks like it's down to 148 here right now with Grand Canyon and Georgia. They're playing that one in Atlanta. Western Carolina took steam while we were wrapping there. Western Carolina is an underdog here to Asheville. And you got to like Western Carolina. Boy, this moves on Western Carolina down to 8 here. I'm going to go ahead and take Asheville here on the show. Asheville does very well against Western Carolina in this series. Western Carolina's won 8 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams and 4 of the last 6 here on the road in Asheville. I'll take Western Carolina plus the 8. Take the steam. I'll chase that steam in that one. So we'll find some plays in there and chase a little steam here. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State will take off at, I believe it is at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific here with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. The steam came in on the over here. Man, this one just keeps going higher and higher here right now. I don't know. This is getting a little bit high at 156 or so. It looks like here right now. Oklahoma State's had a good series against Oklahoma. They usually get the money. I like Oklahoma State here in this game, and I'll probably recommend them here right now. It's not in my preview, but if the steam's going to come in here on the over, I like Oklahoma State in this game. Like I said, they've had the better run in this series against Oklahoma. All right, I'll keep it rolling here, right? Oh, here it is. Oklahoma State has won 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two and covered 4 out of the last 5 meetings. So I like Oklahoma State against Oklahoma. They're getting the points here in that one, 4.5 or so. So 5 at some places. So give me Oklahoma State in that one, but the steam was on the over. I know I'm getting. I think I've kind of going with any format I want here. It feels like I've just changed the whole theme of the show, just rattling off other plays here. I had 5 games selected that I was going to get to previews on, but we're talking steam here on the Morning Steam Show. And Bowling Green took some steam in their matchup against. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was UMKC. Oh, we already talked about that one, right? Missouri, Kansas City took the steam at 3.5. I might be all caught up here. Nope. Here we go. Wisconsin and Butler. Game total over in an anticipated matchup. Wisconsin and Butler steam to the over here. Sounds like a pretty interesting play. If you know what I mean out there. Steam here to the over with Wisconsin and Butler. It was 145.5. It's up to 146.5 right now. Steam here with Wisconsin and Butler. They're playing that one in Indianapolis, so Butler will still be a pseudo home team in that one, but I like Wisconsin, man, in that game. I think they can cover this number, actually. Especially if it's going to be a higher scoring game like we've seen Wisconsin starting to do here, a little bit different Wisconsin this season. So I've got another play here, you guys. I haven't even got to the previewed games, but give me Wisconsin. This one's all the way up to 5 points here. The steam is on the over, but I like Wisconsin in this one as a pick here right now. All right, more steam here. Western Illinois and South Dakota. Steam here to the over. Look, these two teams have been going over this year, but this series is a dead under. They really are dead under in this one with Western Illinois and South Dakota. I get it. We've seen some overs this year from these two teams so far, but this series is hardcore under to me. So, all right, steam coming in on the over, Western Illinois and South Dakota. Also, hockey steam right now, just now, with Florida and Calgary. Steam to the under here in that game. We talked about it, right? The series goes over, but steam just came in on the under with Florida and Calgary. We might get that one down to a 5.5 over here right now. So a move to the under here, and those teams, they've definitely gone over in their season series. We talked about that. All right. Also, a couple others here. Loyola, Maryland taking steam here in their matchup today with Mount St. Mary's. They took Loyola, Maryland here at plus 4.5. It's going to be down to 3.5 here, it looks like. Loyola, Maryland took the steam against Mount St. Mary's. Also, Coppin State. The sharpshooters on some of these games, they took 38.5 against Penn State here today. This one goes off at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, but just a big spread here. Penn State was 38.5, but it's down to 37.5. Somebody's moving this line here to Coppin State with this big line. And let's see, a couple more here. Ball State taking steam here. Ball State up against Bellarmine today. Ball State on the road, a 1.5 point favorite, maybe 2 here now. They took steam against Bellarmine in an extra board game. And I think we all caught up. One more here. Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Santa Barbara. Game total moving over here tonight in a late game, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Seeing steam here to the over at 151.5 or 152 right now. These have already moved about 10 or 15 minutes ago while we were talking about all those other games. Okay, let's go to some of the other big games now. We know that the Clemson game is underway, and I'm going to check it out here. Coming up here, though, all this early action's pretty good, and these are all at the top of the next hour. Here's Texas A&M. Sorry if I'm missing you guys in the chat there. See what else here. And there's Peasy. Hello. He had Clemson in that one. I think you guys are just letting me do my stuff there a little bit. All right. Texas A&M and Purdue. This is the first game of that doubleheader in Indianapolis. Purdue is a slight favorite here at -2 right now, maybe up to 2.5. The total 144.5 on some widely reported steam. Actually, here has moved that total higher to 144.5 or so here. Let me take a look. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So maybe 144 at most places here right now. But for me, I almost want to trust that steam here at this point. I think my play is going to be over. Let me open up here and bump this line up to 144.5. And I'm going to take the over with A&M and Purdue as my play. I don't know on the side. I'm really torn, actually, here in this one. This one's tough, man. I'm looking forward to this. All right. C. James, nice to have you in the chat. How about Auburn and Ohio State? This one will be the first of that doubleheader in Atlanta. So you got Auburn here, big favorite, of course, by 11 in this one. And man, Auburn's looking pretty sharp here at this point. I don't know if this one sets up too good for Ohio State, actually. I might be tempted to want to lay this here. I know it's 11. It probably, double digits is going to be tough here, but the steam came in here on the over in this one. I don't know if I'm totally into it at this point. I think a better play for me is just going to be Auburn and lay a big number here with the Tigers. At this point, it's already up to 12.5. So what am I going to do? I mean, I'm not going to give this out as a premium, but I like Auburn more so to be able to cover this number than not here. If I'm not so totally sold on this total here right now, although it has dipped to 152, maybe over is the right call here. Give me a double play. This, like I said, this one, this one's at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. So go ahead and give me a total over here. I already sent out my early package, so I'm not going to add anything here. But judging from the fact that this one's down to 152, I preferred that steam over anyways already. So I'm going to take the over here. These guys have trended just slightly over so far. Nothing too crazy here. Let me see. Man, 8-0 lead here for Memphis, 10-3 now. So, all right, just give me the over here in this one with Ohio State and Auburn. I mean, we know Auburn's great. They're ranked second in the country right now. So I think they should roll these guys. And Auburn is 3-1 to the over away from home. This is a neutral site game technically. Maybe Auburn is going to be the home team to a certain extent, but Auburn also 6-3 to the over. I'll take the over. Auburn and the over, both. Tom Righard, hello. Cash, big money. All right, here we go. UCLA and Arizona. We already talked about the steam that rolled in on this one with UCLA taking the move here a little bit against Arizona, and that steam coming in on the under. So right now we're looking at Arizona here as a favorite by 4, and the total is 146 or so. It's gone down about a point here, but Steam was definitely UCLA and the under here in this one. So see what we could do with this. This one, another one, tough, man. I've been rolling with UCLA, no doubt about it. We've been hot on the Bruins here with I don't know if it's a surprise start, 8-1, but so far so good with the Bruins, and they're right now 6-3 against the number. Only their second road game here. Actually, this one's at the Footprint Center in Phoenix, so it's not in Tucson. And Bruins come in here red hot, of course, right now. And let's see here. They've covered 3 out of the last 4 games. They beat Oregon here. And let's see. They beat Oregon 73-71. I kind of get confused when you think about it because you're like, it's not a conference game anymore. It's just UCLA and Arizona. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. If you think about it, Arizona's kind of dominated the series here. They've won 3 straight meetings between the two teams. In fact, won a couple of games last season here. 85, 88, 65, 77, 71, and 61-59. So a little bit of a discount here, it feels like, for Arizona. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Cats. Maybe we're cashing out a little bit on UCLA. Feels like we're on a pretty good run with them. So I'll take Arizona here right now. Here's some steam moving in here on Southern Miss hosting Mississippi, or I should say this one's in Biloxi. Steam to the under here right now with Mississippi and Southern Miss. These two teams often go over when they play Mississippi against Southern Miss. This has definitely been an over series between these two teams. But Steam coming in here on the under right now at 149, maybe even 148 here at this point. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. And Southern Miss took the Steam at -22. It is currently up to 23 at some spots. They should roll these guys, quite frankly. And I think I'm going to make a play on that. I'm going to suggest taking Ole Miss here as a play on the show. I'm going to lay 23 points against Southern Miss in this game. If the Steam came in on the under, I'm not sure about that. Mississippi is going to put up a big number. Total is going to be harder for me to figure out here, I think, in that one. But give me Mississippi in that game. All right. And let's see here. Kelly says, how about the under in that UCLA game with that Steam? Maybe so. Thank you, Kelly, for stopping by today. Got down to 60 of you here, so probably should end the show. The viewership goes down here. But I got a few more here. Tennessee and Illinois. I've got a few more big games here in college basketball for sure. And that's skipping the Louisville, Kentucky game this time around, but we probably should have hit that one too. Come on, Louisville and Kentucky. Why I don't know why it didn't make my preview. I want to put a play in on that one here on the show, I think. Oh, maybe I was saving it for a premium. But man, that's Louisville, Kentucky. You should never leave that one out of a college basketball preview. Tennessee took the Steam here against Illinois, but handicappers, I've seen them all over Illinois here so far, it feels like, with this one. So I don't know. Tennessee looks like they've been the better cover here for the most part so far this season. But look, Illinois is certainly one of the best. Man, they're just a very, very good team, no doubt about it. This is such a high-profile matchup for Illinois going against the top team in the country. It feels like it's a one of those total setup games here in this one. So I'll just wimp out here and go with the over in this one with Tennessee and Illinois. Maybe I'm thinking a little bit of premium here, but let me just take the over here in this one with these two. You got so far Illinois, Tennessee has gone under in their 2 road games so far this season. I don't have any trends that kind of can back this. I just think we're in for an explosive matchup here with Illinois as an underdog against the number 1 team in the country, currently riding a winning streak here. They're 9-0 to start the season. Illinois is 7-2. They're not covering a bunch of spreads necessarily. Well, they're 5-2 against the spread at home. Tennessee has been money, no doubt about it. That 9-0 record, they're 7-2 currently against the spread, but maybe it's one of those games, right? You got the number 1 team in the country on the road, the tiniest of favorites against an unranked but solid Illinois team here. I'm just going to take the over and wimp out here on the show. All right. Cash Kane like Xavier game to go overtime. How about that? And Kelly's got her hockey trend of the day with Zabinajad. All right. Hey, in that Louisville, Kentucky game, I'm going to go with the over in that game with Louisville and Kentucky. I might not get around to confirming if I could go premium on that. I mean, these 2 teams go over in that series so frequently. What is that streak at now? And it's the theme of the series definitely changed over the last couple of 4 out of the last 5 have gone over. Louisville has gone under in 5 of their last 6. Kentucky's won 5 straight meetings at home, but they're an 11-point favorite. So I like the over in the Louisville Kentucky game today. Another big one I didn't even make a graphic for. Here's one I keep alluding to, right? Because the steam kept coming in here with Marquette and Dayton. The steam came in on Marquette, and I'm like, come on, man. It's the old come on, man show. Dayton never loses at home. I know Marquette, with Coach Shaka, they've definitely reached even newer heights here, right, with Marquette right now, but come on. Davidson never loses at home, and you think they're going to lose to these guys right now? They've won 3 in a row. Marquette is, great record too, 9-1. Dayton 8-2 here, but Dayton is 7-0 at home, 6-2 against the spread. Marquette doing a fine job with that record. They're 6-3-1 against the number here, but come on. This is a premium play, it feels like to me, but I just want to take Dayton on the show and be that guy today. Forget it. I like Dayton every time in this game right now, whoever they're playing at home. Dayton sets these games up. They know what they're getting into in this one. Steam came in on the under in this game, down to 150 or so, I think, here right now. Let's see. No, still, there's some it's varied. Some of the sharp books are keeping a higher number. Sharp books have it as high as 151 and a half, and the square books are down here at 149 and a half or so. Steam came in on the under. These 2 teams have produced overs though so far. Or Dayton has anyway. Dayton's 8-1 to the over, including 7-1 the over at home. I mean, they just play teams at home and run up the score on them for the most part. Now that's going to be different with Marquette. We know that, but I feel like it's still Dayton's floor, and you're not going to come in here and beat Dayton. Cash Kane likes Kentucky in that game against Louisville plus the points. I'm holding off on it. All right, I think I got one more and the show's over and we're down to 55 people. So we'll just have to tell the winner. But we can't go out of here without talking about the big game of the night with Gonzaga and Connecticut. Well, I know there's some other hot matchups, but this is still pretty attractive here with Gonzaga taking on Connecticut, especially the fact that they're going to play this one at Madison Square Garden. So Connecticut's still the home team. There'll be some kennel there for sure, but the widely reported steam has already come in on Gonzaga in this game. Gonzaga's up to
critical notice.
2.5 point. Let me make sure I get this right. Yeah, 2.5. Mostly 2.5s everywhere at this point for Gonzaga. I'll leave it at 2 because I'm on Connecticut. I'm going to be on. Look, these two teams have met in some high-profile games before, and we've seen Connecticut mostly get the better of it. I think they're 5-2 the last 7 meetings between these two teams. So I've been, bouncing back with Connecticut after everybody wanted to bury them a little bit. Hey, look, I'm as big of a Gonzaga fan as anybody. I love this team. I always would go to see them in their big games whenever they were in, close proximity to Southern California. So give me Connecticut in this one. I'll take them plus a couple of points in a pseudo home court in New York. Steam also came in on the over here. That is very possible in this game, and you might see me add to it in this one. Connecticut now has won 3 in a row. After everybody wanted to bury them, they beat Texas, Baylor, and they crushed Eastern Shore. And Gonzaga here is off of a loss to Kentucky, a stunning loss as a 6.5 point favorite, remember. So that was a little bit upsetting here. And they've also lost, remember, to West Virginia this year. So who has been more susceptible? Is it really Connecticut, or does Gonzaga show some wear and tear a little bit? I'll take Connecticut. All right, that's going to do it for the show. We're going to do the drawing. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with me there. I know I got a little robotic at the end, but we're trying to grind through this, and we're ready to wrap it up. So don't forget, check me out over at winnable.com, and you can get my best plays for today. I've already got a 12-pack up there loaded and ready for the games that start at the top of the hour and go all the way to 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. If you want to get my weekly or monthly package, I'll have more college basketball. We're heavy in college basketball today for sure with this huge, beautiful card. I'm going to be sitting here finalizing things all day long as I look at all these numbers and my ratings and trends, and good to go here. I've got my plays ready. Just want to look over the move and send it out. And I'll have my UFC card as well over at winnable.com. My full card picks and predictions over there. If you subscribe to the package, $20 a month. Here, let me get my advertising going here. $20 a month when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. Click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen to get my plays here today. Hopefully I just gave you a bunch of winners, but I really did put my best plays up behind the Winnable app over here. I better wrap up this show before I lose my voice. There's been so much going on today. We're going to do the drawing. So give you one more second to type something into the chat if you'd like to be eligible for the 4-team parlay here today, the consensus parlay here with our plays today, including the Pittsburgh Penguins was one of them. The Toronto Maple Leafs was one of the plays. And also, trying to remember what they were. Were they all hockey? The Tampa Bay Lightning was in there as well. And the other one was, of course, Army over Navy. Even though I'm going Navy, and Matt says he's going with Army first half, Army team total, full game under. Thank you, Matty. Appreciate that. That's a parlay, by the way, there. Okay, I'm bringing up the drawing here right now, so everybody get ready. This show is over, but we're going to have the giveaway here right now for the 4-teamer that I just mentioned. So depending on how many hits we get here today, maybe we'll have, I don't know, could be a $30 winner here today, it feels like. Even though yesterday, gang, we had the one of the lowest show. Am I losing it here? I feel like I'm going crazy, but we did have one of the lowest viewed shows, and since I think we've gone over here at Sports Money, don't tell Mikey, but I'm trying to stay here on the air. You guys got to help me out. All right, let's get a move on here and wrap this show up. Who's the winner today? Super True, Johnny, AOD, Sharon, Stop Geo, Curtis, Gravy, Justin, Joe W, Lenora, Jermaine, yes, Jermaine. So happy to have Jermaine. I always wonder what Jermaine is doing there in that picture. Is he holding up his master's degree? What is he doing there? Great, Jermaine. I hope you win today. I want to send you the prize via Cash App, via Venmo, via Zelle, via whatever. I got them all. So hopefully, here, no problem, Thomas. I read them off, and we'll see you tomorrow as well. So thank you for joining me here on the morning steam. We got to get out of here, man. This show ran so long, but hopefully I gave you some info. I know we're grasping at straws there, it felt like at the end, but the plays are here. It's all here on my on my sheets. So really appreciate it, gang. Have a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow. More steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. And don't forget, tonight here on the Sports Money Network, we've got that companion coverage of UFC from Tampa. Don't forget to check out the guys' videos on First Strike, as well as my picks with VB MMA picks here on YouTube. So you got a few hours here before that starts. PFL is just underway as well, but then they'll get into it over there in New York with that evening card capped off by the main event, Buckley and Covington there tonight. So enjoy the UFC with the guys. I'll be in the chat as well watching the action tonight. And hope they have a great show. So we'll be back tomorrow. NFL action. We'll be ready to go. And hey, hook up with me, won't you? With the Winnable app, you guys. If you like college basketball, we're going to be rolling here today in college basketball for sure. More plays coming. Steam just came in. I'll send you out here with a few more about Lamar taking some steam here against UL Lafayette. Lamar was a 2.5-point dog, and I'll give you a little teaser on this one. The steam just came in on Lamar. I'm on Lamar with my premium picks today, so check them out over there. It's already loaded up. That one's at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. It's down to 1.5. So we're on the right side of that one. I will say this. A couple of the steam moves that came in that I mentioned here earlier were opposite of what I went in with my premium picks. That's fine. They can move against me. Here's another one real quick. Charlotte and Georgia State. Another one right here. I'm giving away the house. Charlotte and Georgia State. This one just got steamed here moments ago to the under. It's one of my premium picks on the Winnable site. So we beat the line here for sure. It was 142.5. It's down to 141.5 or even lower. And I've got a premium there over there at the Winnable app. So I don't know if I find another one. I'm going to tell you guys about it right now. Tulsa and Central Florida got steamed to the under here. That's not one of them, but just want to report that to you. In fact, this is a regular series, and this one usually goes over. Remember, we already said the steam came in on Tulsa. It's usually Central Florida and over when these two teams meet.
Final.
But the steam is opposite, Tulsa and under. So, I don't know. All right, is that it? That's it, gang. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you here tomorrow. I'm going to see if we got any more for you. No, that's it. That's it for the morning steam. And thank you. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott.
Steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.